Kadosh Boker Or Masechet Batra Daf Kuf 128:1 says the Gemara. Can you tell me that Yocheved was 130 years old and she's going to have a child? The Karala Bat. The Amar Chanina says Chanina Zo Yocheved. When it says in the parasha to do with Yaakov going down to Mitzrayim, it's Yocheved Shorata Baderech. She conceived on the way to Mitzrayim to the way of to Eretz Canaan to Mitzrayim. V'nolda ben Achomot, and she was born in between the walls of Mitzrayim. Dichtiv asher yalada ota lelewi b'Mitzrayim, leidata b'Mitzrayim, ve'orata shelo b'Mitzrayim. Only her birth was in Mitzrayim, but not her leida. The leida, that's what it says here. Sorry, not her horata. Horata is the conceivement, meaning she was conceived not in Mitzrayim. She was conceived on the way in Canaan, but she was born in Mitzrayim. Amai karula bat. So why does it say bat lewi? What does it bat? So he says, Amar of Yehuda bar Zvida, says of Yehuda bar Zvida, Melamed shelon duba simanena arut. She became a girl again. Meaning the age of 130, she became a girl again. Nitadena basar, all of a sudden, right, the basar became very soft. Nitpashtu akmatin, there was no more anymore wrinkles, right? The wrinkles took off. And all of a sudden, she became beautiful again. She became beautiful again. Okay? Fine. Vayikach bat Levi. She took bat Levi. Vayachzor mi baile. What is vayikach? He took her. He brought her back. Vayachzor. He brought her back. What do you mean vayikach? Amar Rav Yehuda bar Zvida. Melamed shasala maaseh likuchin. He did a maaseh of likuchin. What is likuchin? Kikach ishisha. When a person is going to get married, kiddushin is called kicha. They learn it from Stefron. Kikach ishisha. So when it says here vayikach bat Levi, means they got married to her again. What does that mean? He put her in one of these, what do you call them, apidyon? It's like the place where they come and they put it in you know, they used to have like these beautiful, yeah, but the apidyon also is like, I forgot the name, check it in English. Yes, but there's a beautiful word for it. It's like a place where they put her in and they start singing for her. Do you know that they used to do that? You have it over there? It's basically a place where they used to come and they used to sing. Do you know in Morocco, they used to put the kala, the night of the henna, they used to put her in apirion. And then they used to sing. Yeah. And, but there's an English word for it. Check what the English word is. Apirion. אני יודע בעברית, תודה רבה. אני אמרתי את זה בעברית. אני צריך באנגלית, תודה.
Number 9.
It's not number 9. They're different numbers. It's different numbers in the Hebrew and the English. Yes, it's different. It's always different. Yeah. So therefore, no, it doesn't say anything. Here, bring it to me 1 second. So he says like this. He says, here it is, in a sedan chair. That's what it is. A sedan chair, number 11. 11 says it's a covered litter of the type in which the first-time brides were customarily carried. They used to carry her in this type of a chair, right? It was like a chariot. Like, you know, so what happened? They used to come, right? And they used to put her in this type of a chair. And they used to come and they used to sing to her. So usually it was the Anshe Chevra, the Chevra Kadisha, they would come and they would sing with her, right? They would sing to her. The Chevra Kadisha would be the ones that were respected in giving her and singing to her when they're taking her to the thing. This was during the night of the Chena. Who's singing in front of her? Aaron and Miriam. This is very interesting because this is actually mashma that the children are allowed to be in the wedding of the parents, right? It's not that simple. According to a lot of shitot, it's a sur. What? Yes. Okay, here it says in the footnote, so he says, okay, it could be that there's only them were doing it because nobody knew on the Nessa was going to happen. According to other people, it was meaning it was only them. They were the only ones that were there. So, okay, according to that, they were allowed to do it, right? But okay, it's a whole question about that, exactly what happened. But it's not respect, right, for the children to come. There's a whole question. What are they not allowed to be there? Are they not allowed to be at the chuppah? They're not allowed to be at the seudah? Not allowed to be at all the wedding? It's not that. I just told you, but it's not respect. It's a fact. It's a lack of respect. Okay? Fine. So he says, "Vadon miyam shorim lefanea. Malachei hasharet omrim em abanim semecha." Right? The mother are going to be semecha. It says here, Amram, he put his wife in an epirion and yichzira la'achar shayta akura mibeto. And therefore, em abanim semecha, she was going to be happy. Okay? Fine. Lehalan. Yeah? Later on, menana katuv derech gidulatan. So it says here, right? Afterwards, it comes and it told you the order of the Gdula, right? Of the daughters of Tzlofchad. So it says, Vatiena Machla, Tirza, Chogla, Milka, Noah, Benot Tzlofchad, Manana Ketuv Derech Gdulatan, meaning according to the way that they were born. Vekan, but over here, okay, Derech Chochmatan, it was the order of their Chochmah. So therefore, meaning, because here it says, Vele Shemot Benotav, Machla, Noah, Vechogla, Milka, Vetilsa. So therefore, there's going to be one more time. Machla was on both of them first. But then Tirza, in the first, this one, it's going to be last. In the other one, it's going to be second. Meaning that you see, that means it comes out that Machla was also the Bechorah and also the Chachama. Okay? But then Noah, which was the youngest one, was the second Chachama. Yeah? One more time, right? If you look at, you don't actually have the entire pasuk by you. You have the pasuk in the side where it's the pasuk, it's going to be Dalid and then Hey. If you look in the Torah Ora Shalem, so in the Torah Ora Shalem Dalid, you have Atiena Machlat Yitzam Chogam Mikav Noah Ben Otzol Chav Neshim, and then you have the next one. Sorry, not that one. The next one. No. Sorry, it's the one. No, but it's Dalid. Dalid is the only one that's mentioned. Dalid is the only one that's mentioned, right? Which is basically coming and telling you the names, the order of the names. Okay, but then the other one is going to be in Kavzain Aleph. It's written according to their Chokhmah. So Misayel Rabbi Ami, this is a proof to Rabbi Ami, Damar Rabbi Ami, Bishiva, to do with Yeshiva whenever they're sitting down, right, or to do with Inyan Torah. You always go after the Chokhmah, not according to the age. Meaning, I don't care who's older or younger. It also do with the Chokhmah. That's whenever you're just sitting down to deen or this or that. But to do with misiba, which means that you're going to eat and drink, there you go after. Meaning, right? For example, let's say you have a whole bunch of children, right? So they're all sitting down on a meal. So to do with something physical, which is a meal, right? There it's going to happen. So to do with the meal, there it's going to happen that your person is going to come and they're going to go after the age. But to do with anything of deen or anything spiritual, you're going to go after the chokhmah. So says the Gemara, Amaravashi, Vehud Maflig Bechokmah. He says nobody has to be muflag bechokmato. That means only that person is before a zaken, right? Vehud Maflig bezikna, right? And also when we're talking about that we go after the zikna, it's only if it's going to be mamash elderly, not just he's a little bit older than him. You understand? The mamash has to be elderly. Okay, fine. Tana de Bishmael says Bishmael benot tzolchat shkulot hayu, right? Be'emet they were equal to do with everything except for their age. Shleimar vatiena havaya achal lekulan. Right? It says so obviously this is a different dea saying that no, that they're all equal in the chokhmah. So he says, they were permitted to get married to any of the shvatim. But what does it mean when it says it's a tova yisena? The pasuk gave them a good etzah, a good advice. That they should only get married to somebody which is going to be fitting for them. Okay? Fine. Motiv Rabba, so Rabba comes and he asks the following question. Emor alehem, it's written that you're going to say to them, we're talking about the ones, that means this is the yisur of eating kodshim betuma. When a person is tameh, he's not allowed to eat anything of kadosh, of kodesh, right? If he's tameh. So he says here, Emor alehem, when it says Emor alehem, say to them, those are the ones that are Har Sinai. Lidorotechem, or dorot abayim, or for the next generations. Im ne'emar avot, lama ne'emar banim. Vim ne'emar banim, lama ne'emar avot. If it's written avot, why does it say banim? If it's written banim, why does it say avot? But it says there in the pasuk, then it says, right, lidorotechem, then it says, le'avot ubanim. Why does it say avot ubanim here? Yeah. So we always say avot ubanim here, but we say, but why does it have to say it? He says sometimes you have other than the banim that you don't have the avot, sometimes you have in the avot that you don't have. But avot umen in the avot it says the chol bat yuresh nachala. What does that mean? It says over there that there's a mitzvah only for that generation, not for the next generations. But there's a lot of mitzvot that only the banim had and not the avot, right? For example, urla, kilaim, chalad, leket shichal peah, meaning the children only had ththose mitzvot because they was in coming into Eretz Yisrael. The ones in the midbar didn't have it. Meaning leket shichal peah. You remember we said that the famous mashal of Korach, that he came and he started making a joke of Aaron, that he came and he took leket shichal peah from the almanah and then he left her without anything and all those things. It was a whole joke because why? Because it didn't exist, those mitzvot still. They weren't in Eretz Yisrael. They didn't have leket shichal peah and orla and kilaim and all those things. It didn't happen yet. So therefore, obviously, it was only the banim that had it, not the avot. But there's other things that only the avot had, and not the banim. So he says, that's why I had to say avot, and it had to say banim. Okay, fine. So he says, yeah, but we did learn, right, that every single bat is going to be Yoresh Nachala. So he says, the bat, they asked and they answered it, meaning that except for Benot Tzlufchad, that the Pasuk is saying, they could get married to whoever they want. Meaning the daughters of Tzlufchad, they could have got married. None of them were married yet. They could have got married to whoever they wanted. Okay? Fine. Amar More says, in, but banim lo, says what? It's only the avot that the daughters get inheritance, but not by the banim. Meaning only in that generation a girl could inherit, but from then onwards, girls do not inherit. So says the Gemara.
מה הפואנטה של כל זה בדיוק, הזום אין הזה עכשיו, כל עוד באבות ואז בבנות גם. כאילו מה שהם באותו דור.
So my mashra, what does it mean then? So Rav says, says on Pazul, ze davar. Davar ze lo yenoegel bedor ze bilvad. It's only in this generation. Okay. After that, there's no other generations. Meaning it's only Doram that they had it. So he says, Amal Zuti Ravashi. He says about Zuti Ravashi, right? Ela meata ze davar de shchute chutz. He says, 1 second. It says also ze davar. So now you're going to tell me that shchute chutz is only then. Meaning we know that you have to do the shchita inside. That means you're not allowed to do shchita of a korban outside of Bet HaMikdash. Now, if you're going to tell me that every single time that you use the terminology zeh davar, zotomeret, it means to say only that generation, are you going to tell me that today, let's say we have the Bet HaMikdash, are you going to tell me now that you're allowed to come and you're allowed to do it outside of the Bet HaMikdash? What are you talking about? How could that be? So answers the Gemara, it's different over there. Even though you're right, it says zeh davar, it also says Dorotam. Dorotam says for generations. So it's for all generations. So ask the Gemara Kuf Kavum Bet, yeah, but zeh davar de Rashem Atot. Hachanam lo zeh. 1 second. What about Hafarat Nedarim? Hafarat Nedarim, it also says zeh davar. Are you going to tell me now that it's also going to be only for that generation? Amaleh hu yaliv zeh zeh mehatam. It's a gzera shava. Zeh zeh. Right? Zeh hadavar from Hafarat Nedarim to zeh davar from Shchut Chutz. So since we're making a gzera shava, we're learning from that just like by the Shchut Chutz, it's lidorot. So to Hafarat Nedarim is also for dorot. Why? Zeze. You know what zeze? Zeze. Zeze. Zera shava. So says the Gemara, fine. We could also learn that there's an issue for a bat to get married to another shevet from zeze. So he says, hi, Mai, from where? Bishamatam, I understand over there you needed a gzera shava. Hachal lemai itzrich. Right? Why do we need? He says, right, you didn't say anything. We already know that it's for generations. So he says, what's the gzera shava? The Tanya was learned to the Braita. It says Zadavar by both of them. So he says, V'chol Yisrael Afkan, right, just like over there, it's Aron Uvana V'chol Yisrael, meaning that it's going to be, so too, that means by Shchutei Chutz, it's everybody. So to Afaran Nedarim, it's everybody. It's Aron Uvana V'chol Yisrael. Umakan Rashi Amatot, just like here, it's Rashi Amatot. So too, it's going to be Rashi Amatot. Samar more says, Elmaleh Halan, just like over there, it's Aron Uvana V'chol Yisrael. Afkan Aron Uvanav, right, V'chol Yisrael, Ma Yichata Bo Litzah Lacha. Amar Ravacha Bar Yaakov, Lomar Lecha Afaran Nedarim V'Shlosha Edyotot. You have to do a Afaran Nedarim with 3 people. Even 3 Edyotot. It doesn't have to be 3 rabbis. You could take 3 Edyotot, 3 simple people, and you could do Hafarat Nedarim with these 3 people. So ask the Gemara, but it's written in Shabbatot. So he says, we're talking about one individual that he's a mumche. Afkan, right? So he says, Amarav Sheshal, there is Sheila Begdesh, which means one more time. Technically speaking, for Hafarat Nedarim, all you need is 1 person. But he has to be a mumche. Meaning, let's say the Avbetin, the big person. That is called, right, what? Yachim mumche. Or, afilu shlosha edyotot. Even 3 simple people. Now, to do with the Sheila Begdesh, you could ask a Chacham to do a Hafarat Nedarim or Taran Nedarim, also to do with Hekdesh. But according to Bet Shammai that he says in Sheila Begdesh, it's not Bet Shammai only Hekdesh, Taut Hekdesh. Even if you made a mistake and you made it Hekdesh, it's still considered Hekdesh. But Hillel says it's not considered Hekdesh. What do you do with the Zeh? So he says, you still need it. Only if you do shchita, you're going to be chayav if you do shchutei chutz. What happens if you do melika? What's the difference between shchita and melika? Very good. Melika is with the tziporen. right? That means you did a shchita. That's what it's tziporim. It's a different type of shchita. You take a tzipor, you take a bird, and you cut off the head with your nail, right? That's only done. That's milika. So if you did milika outside of Beit Hamikdash, you're not chayav. You're only going to be chayav al shochet that you're going to be chayav. That is the shchita, but it's a different halacha. That's what he's saying here. He's saying it's only going to be al shochet and not on the milika, and that they learn from Zedavar the Rashabatot Bale to teach you the chacham matir and bal matir, bal mefer and chacham mefer. Another incredible concept. We always use the terminology hafara and hatara. What's the difference between hafara and hatara? Yeah, hafara and hatara. A chacham was hatara. That's why it's mutalach. Hatarat nedarim. The Baal, the husband, he does hafarat nedarim. What's the difference between hafarat nedarim and hatarat nedarim? Hatarat nedarim, you need a petach. You need some reason why they do it. And it's done by the bedin. Hafarat nedarim, you don't need a petach. Meaning the husband just says, I don't want it. He's going to be mefer, right? But it's only the husband. He's the only one that could do hafarat nedarim. Yes. And that's why, or also there's also the daughter, right? But right, the difference also, and that's the pshat also, that we come and we say, when we come and we say Lulukai Netzor, Haferat Satam vekalkel machshavotam. There we say Haferat Satam, because Haferat Satam is even without a peta. We just want the Hafara as if kilu ze af pam lo haya. Latira neder, it's a neder until mikanu laba also. Meaning the zigol mafreya also mikanu laba. That's another nafkamina. Meaning when you come and you do a tarat nedarim, until that time she had the neder done. From now onwards you're matid the neder. Hafarat nedarim lemafreya lo yashum neder. There was no neder. Retroactively, there's no neder. So there's a few differences between hafarat nedarim and atarat nedarim. That's the Gemara, but according to Bet Shammai, that he does not learn of the Gzera Shava, hafarat nedarim b'shushai yotom menalu. How does Bet Shammai know that you could do a hafarat nedarim with 3 different hedyotot? So he says, Nafka lo miditanya, they learn from the writer where it says, Vaydaber Moshe Moadei Adonai b'nei Yisrael, they learn it from there. Rabbi Yosef Galilei says, Moadei Hashem ne'emru. Shabbat Bereshit. It's going to be Shabbat Bereshit. Look what we're talking about. By the Ben Moshe, this was actually we just read this in the parasha, the Shor Chesav Oez, the first 2 days of Sukkot. By the Ben Moshe, Moadei Hashem Bnei Yisrael. That was also part of the Kiddush for Edot Mizrach. And Shabbat Bereshit is going to be next Shabbat. So right, this coming Shabbat. So he says, Lo Ne'emra. Ben Azai Omer, Azai says, Moadei Hashem Afra Nedarim Lo Ne'emra. Each one they're going to come and they're going to bring